Hey all, Blake here with another video, and for those of you that are regulars to the channel, you'll know I've tried out a lot of nano lights. Whether that is the Chihira C2, the Azu Flexi Mini, the Low Mini Asta 20, there's plenty of nano lights on the market, and I'm a big nano tank guy as well, so of course I'm going to do the rounds and check them all out. And for that reason, I'm really excited here today to do a setup video on this ONF Flat Nano Plus. I understand there might be a few pitfalls people face when setting this guy up, so I'm going to show you how to do it today. I'm going to unbox it as well, but this here is not the comprehensive review and test. I do have a big idea for that as a future video, so if you're excited for that, definitely hit subscribe, or if it's been quite a while since releasing this video, then maybe check through my other videos and you might see it there. Let's jump straight into the video. Okay, so first of all, we'll do the unboxing, and it's a kind of an interesting box. So you can see here we've got the Flat Nano at the front, but if you check out the sides, they're kind of indented. I don't know if the aim there is to make it look like a bigger box than it is, but it's a bit interesting. At least it gives you a bit of a handle to hold. So I think we just slide the cover piece off here, and then there's a perforated section underneath. As well as that, the app is available on both the Apple App Store and Google Play Store, so no matter what phone you are using, you should be able to tune into the app. So here we can see, I've told you about that perforated edge there, so we only get one shot at this. Hopefully the shot is right, but let's crack this open and get that satisfaction of opening these sorts of things. And just like that, we have the light unveiled. So we've got some pairing instructions, probably the warranty is in there as well, and the actual fixture is at the bottom. And then we do have the manual underneath here, so you can see the manual there. I'm sure there's plenty of decent instructions. I'll just give it a quick flick through just to see. It's basically just 2 pages in a lot of different languages, so I hope we don't need that today. If we unveil the black cover piece, you can see here within some styrofoam, nice and safely packed, we have the fixture itself, the hanging bracket, and the AC adapter as well. The hanging bracket is one aspect that I don't really like straight out of the box, and that is because you might be able to see in there, you do need a flathead screwdriver to twist and get this to actually clamp onto the side of your aquarium. I prefer it to be a toolless installation, but with that said, it should still be relatively easy to do. So the way this works is you just have this piece, the rectangular section hangs on the side of your aquarium, and then the actual fixture here lies within this circular area. So also keep in mind that you are going to be restricted to tanks with a glass of this width here. So you're not going to be able to attach this light to anything with a rim or a brace all the way around. We take out the little AC adapter box. I'm hoping that this is going to be a transformer with an Australian adapter, which it is. So ONF itself is actually a Taiwanese company, so I believe that they just have one single AC adapter, and then you should get the plug connection for whatever country you choose. I'm not sure how difficult it would be to source this piece if it didn't come in the right country, but that's an Australian adapter for you. Now it comes time to actually pulling out the fixture itself, and you do want to be careful because you get the top part and there is a cable that is connecting it to the rod that is going to be basically how we have it above our aquarium. So don't just pull on one piece or the other because it is 2 pieces actually connected. And the only other function about it is there is a little perforated section there with some dots, and that's going to be a button. So we just slide the rod all the way up the cable and then screw it in to the piece at the top there. The rest of the box now is empty, so we will just discard that and move it out of the way. Give us some more working room here. So on the actual upright here, you will notice that there's a little rubber grommet there, and that is how we're going to determine the height. So it's a really simple operation. We just slide the cable in that piece that's going to connect to the side of your aquarium, and that grommet just stops the light from going any further down. So that's really as simple as it is. And this light fixture now is ready to be attached to the side of your aquarium. So obviously turn it this way so that this hook is on the inside of the glass. This hook here might be in the actual water. It's got a nice little foam pad there, so we're not gonna crack the glass or anything like that. And keep in mind, you don't have to go too far. You don't have to get too crazy with how tight it is, just nice and firm and held in place. So I'm just gonna grab my flathead screwdriver and attach this now. Another disappointing thing about this is that this light doesn't actually come with the flathead screwdriver either. I know it's kind of a nitpicky thing, but this is a very cheap item to include in the box, and the light is quite expensive. Depending on which country you're in, it might be upwards of sort of $200. So you're paying a lot for this light, and just including a $1 plastic flathead screwdriver, I don't think would be asking too much, but nevertheless, we'll put this on the side of our little aquarium here, firmly tighten it there, nothing too crazy, and we're ready to rock and roll. So you can see that it is quite a simple setup here. It's taken a matter of seconds, and now we've got it on our aquarium. We'll get this plugged in and start to set it up with the app. So I just got the light plugged in there. It is on. You can probably see the brightness on my hand there, which will indicate that. The other thing is, once it is set up on the aquarium, it still does swivel, so you should be able to adjust where you want the light directed as well if you've got a tank larger than the actual length of the fixture. So what we'll do now is I'll go ahead and get the app downloaded. So we'll get started by searching ONF link on the Google Play Store for me, but it might be the Apple Store for you. You can see it there, just third one down, and we'll install. Obviously it is free to download, so we'll wait for that to happen. Now that it's installed, we'll open that app right up. Let's connect. Plug in your ONF light, connect it with the app before the blue indicator stops flashing. Notice if the indicator lights stop flashing, please reboot. So we'll just turn this here. And in our case, the blue light has stopped flashing. Basically, we've probably taken too long. So I'm just gonna reboot it now. We'll unplug it and then plug it back in. 1, 2, 3. Just wait 3 seconds, plug it back in. And now, hopefully, you can see there the blue light is flashing again. Okay, so now we'll go back to the app and we'll connect. Okay, grant access while using the app, sure. Okay, so our blue light's going. We're gonna hit search. It's gonna look for nearby fixtures with that blue flashing light, which means that it's sending out a signal, it's trying to pick up a signal. And now you can see Flat Nano Plus has come up, so we're gonna hit pair the device. And as easy as that, we've got the device paired. So now we can go into the device and you can see the adjustability. It's nothing too crazy. We can't check different color spectrums or anything like that. But what we can do is adjust the brightness. So by default, it's on 40%. We can turn that way, way up, which would create green water and an algae farm immediately in here. If I put my hand over it, might give a bit more of an option. That's crazy high powered. We go back down to 30, 15. 15 is probably too low. 30, 40, 50%. So I'll just leave it on 50% for now. And then the next thing we can click is the clock. We'll add new. We'll start at 3 p.m. and at 4 p.m. We'll set it at 50%. Okay, so it's updated now. And you can see there's no light on whatsoever. But in 2 minutes time, it should either come on at 50% or start to ramp up. So we'll just test that now. And of course, if you're just plugging it into a manual timer, you wouldn't need to set up any schedules at all. You do that through the timer. But the important thing is, and this doesn't happen with every light, it will save the percentage of power that you've set it to. So if you've set it to 75% and you have it in a manual timer, it will remember that and come back on at 75%. Some other lights will immediately come back on at 100% or even won't turn on until you manually press a button on the fixture. So I do like that feature. Okay, so just immediately it's ticked over to 3 o'clock now and the lights come on at 50%. it didn't immediately come on, it did ramp up very shortly. So the way that it gets set up and the way that you schedule it out, if you have a 15-minute block at 20% and then it jumps up to 100%, it's not going to be the case where during that 15-minute period it's going to ramp from 20% up to 100%. What you'll find is that at the 14-minute and 59-second mark, it will go bam, 20% up to 100%, you know, during a second or so. So keep that in mind when you're programming it, that it's going to go in blocks of whatever percentage you set it at, which of course you can add a number of different schedules to change that. Now for manual mode, I did mention those dimples that are located underneath the fixture here. So the way that those work is if you long press and the light turns off, you can see it's off now, long press and turn it back on, and it will remember the percentage that it turned off or on at. So in this case it's 20%, but if we just do a short press, it will change the amount of actual power. So quick tap and it's at 50%, quick tap and it's at 75%, quick tap and it's at 100%. Now to turn it on or off manually, you just hold down and long press on that dimple section, and before too long it should turn off. And then you do the exact same motion to turn it back on. I do think that it puts out quite a lot of light. I'm happy with the color temperature. You know, it's a cooler white sort of light, but that doesn't bother me. I prefer that. It looks more sort of modern and professional in my opinion, and aesthetically it looks like a high quality item. Comes with quite a hefty price tag, so I do expect that out of this light, and I do expect it to be easy to set up and easy to use. First impressions, this dimple button here, it is a bit temperamental and I haven't found it to work every single time I've tried to press it. Sometimes I've pushed it with like the end of my thumb and it hasn't really picked it up, and then I've pressed it with my entire thumb and sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. Sometimes I needed to double tap on it, sometimes I could single tap on it. So that's kind of annoying. I probably wouldn't really use that button for that reason, because I find it really hard to get a precise reaction of what I want. I'd probably first of all just go straight into the app and adjust the brightness from there without any schedules like so. I think it'd probably be a lot easier in my opinion to just go to the app, set a brightness that I like. That way I can know it's on the brightness that I'm happy with, and then from that point I'd probably just connect it into a hard timer. So for that reason, the Flat Nano versus the Flat Nano Plus, it's very negligible. The price difference is about $10 or $15. The main difference I chose the Plus is because it came in a black color instead of the silver or the rose gold. If you like those colors, you might be disappointed that the Plus option isn't available to you. So in terms of troubleshooting, if you are really struggling to get the app connected to the light, then make sure you unplug it, wait about 3 seconds, plug it back in, and then quickly search for the light whilst that blue light is still blinking. I think that might be probably the biggest pitfall people will have, is if it's not being discoverable, definitely make sure that blue indicator light is on at the front, and if it's not, make sure you unplug it, wait a good amount of time before plugging it back in. The blue light indicator does come off fairly quickly, so you need to act pretty fast. I recommend having the app open and being ready to hit that search magnifying glass when you are about to plug it back in. Otherwise you could easily fall into the trap of that blue light keeping going off, and I could see that being a bit of an annoyance for you. Overall, in terms of the actual hardware, it was really easy to assemble and I don't imagine many pitfalls there. Just do make sure that you have a small flathead screwdriver on hand, because you will need that to properly install it. Overall, connecting the light to the app, found it to be pretty easy. Adjusting it and adding schedules, a bit tedious. Adjusting it was fine, but adding schedules is kind of annoying. And it's annoying that you can't just go and edit the schedules that already exist. You got to delete them and create a new one that links in with all of the other ones. So I'd try and avoid, where possible, changing the light schedule or connecting it into an external timer. I think in the long run would probably be an easier way to go. Overall, I'm happy with the output of the light, and in terms of whether it grows plants or not, I'm sure the popularity of this light will indicate that it probably will, but I'm going to put that to the test in the near future in an extensive video. So if you like this video and it's helped you make up your mind whether you want to pick up this fixture and determine if it's easy to set up or not, or if it's helped you get over some problems you've had trying to set up this light, then it always helps me out to smash like, hit subscribe, and all that fun stuff. And other than that, I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.